Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now today is Sunday, so you know what that means. It's time to go around the net with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. So on the docket for today, we have another Marriott story. This time they're handing out some extra points. We have some interesting stats on some angry hotel guests and their expectations. We have some interesting, relatively high Amex credit card offers you may be interested in. And we'll close again with American Express and the refresh and maybe their return to focus on cash back in two cards that have gotten some tweaks. So of course, if that sounds interesting to you, then go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now, batting leadoff this week is a quick mini recap, if you will, inside of the regular recap. The biggest story was the return of the Wells Fargo Propel, this time under the name Autograph Card. Now, I have a full dedicated video of that. I will link it directly down below. Overall, it's a pretty good card, solid cash back. I'll say this, then we can move on. It really reminds me of earlier this year, or late last year, when Apple brought back the MacBook Pro, and they gave us back all these ports, SD card, HDMI, things like that, and everyone was so happy. But really, they just gave us back exactly what they took away in 2016. That's exactly what the Autograph Card is. So, if you're in the market for kind of an all sorts of thing, catch-all, cashback card, you should definitely take a look at the Autograph video down below. But with that, let's get to the new news we haven't talked about, and we're going back to with Marriott. Marriott's been in the news as of late. They've had some relatively high sign-up bonuses. They've had, of course, some changes with their rewards program, but this time around, they are trying to target, folks who are likely to stay at Airbnbs by convincing you to use Marriott actually to book, property rentals is the way they call it. So not hotel chains like a Courtyard or things like that, actual property stays. So think very similar to, again, Airbnb, but this time they're handing out double points on these bookings. So let's take a look at this, see if you have a family vacation you want to plan in the near future. And so here we have it. Marriott Home Rentals is what they're calling it. So book a home property via Homes and Villas by Marriott. Now you must book this in between July 11th and July 29th. However, you don't have to complete the stay in that window. It can be all the way through January of next year, as we'll see in a second. Now you do have to have a 3-night stay with cash. That doesn't mean physical cash. That really just means you cannot pay with points. So, putting it on your new Marriott credit card would be fine. Now, the perk here is that you will earn 10x Bonvoy points, is where normally I believe you would earn 5x on stays like this. So overall, if you're looking for something like this, this could be an interesting stay. The reason I mention is because from time to time I do get folks saying, hey, how is it best to go about hotel stays or traveling with like a family, right? Booking a room for 1 or 2 people, not bad. When you have a whole family unit, then something like an Airbnb comes into play. So it looks like Marriott, they're trying to make a bigger push into the game. So, you have basically the rest of the month to figure out, hey, do I have a summer vacation, maybe a winter or Christmas break vacation, something like that. You could book all of that. Now lock in 10x points. And again, the reason this is another interesting story is because we just saw the Marriott Chase card, the $95 one, come out with, sign-up bonus, basically 5 free nights, award certificates valued at $50K a piece. So, if you just picked up that card, you're looking to, cash in on Marriott. Of course, you can't use the certificates, to get double points. But again, you'll still have some level of, points earnings on the card if you do it, or they're giving you 10x back directly to your Marriott account, which could be pretty good. You kind of, break in your new Marriott card that way. Get some extra points because, again, you can top off those reward certificates that the card has with points. So if you went through this, you were doing this naturally, you're going to get a lot of extra points through this, double points. And then, of course, maybe when you get around to using those certificates, you have enough points to top them off or even bump them up, higher. I think 50K was like a category 5 or 6, depending on, when you book. So could be pretty interesting. Now, another reason this could be interesting is because if you're sick and tired of staying at regular hotel chains, this might look more interesting. These rental properties basically that you're staying at. Why would I say that? Because we have an interesting survey to take a look at that actually says, hotel guests, satisfaction has actually decreased in a statistically significant way over the last year. So let's take a look at this. I found it pretty interesting myself. So this is from J.D. Power North American Hotel Satisfaction Survey. So J.D. Power does a ton of, customer satisfaction, reliability, things like that. So what they've done is they've had a sample size of 34,407 hotel guests. And that number is important because in statistics, the answer is always take more samples. Bigger sample size means your numbers are more statistically significant. And the article does go on to say that I'll spare you the math, but these changes, these numbers we're going to see are actually statistically significant. Anyways, this is talking about stays between May 2021 and May of 2022, so basically a year. So the overall, there was an 8-point drop in satisfaction. The 2022 score was 822 out of 1,000, and then 2021, 830 out of 1,000. Now, in addition to that, satisfaction with hotel costs and fees dropped 18 points from 2021. Satisfaction with guest rooms dropped 10%, or 10 points, sorry. Now, overall, in terms of general performance by brand, they do break that down as well. So this is, again, the chart from, borrowing it from CNN, but I believe they got it from J.D. Power as well. The following brands ranked highest in guest satisfaction in their respective segments in score in 2022. Scores are on the scale of 1,000. So you can see the winner here for luxury, the Ritz-Carlton, 855, top ranked for a second consecutive year. And so overall, I did find the survey pretty interesting, especially the drop. Again, they're kind of associating it to, hotels putting more emphasis on getting financial footing again versus upgrades and things like that. So basically we're saying, hey, there's a value proposition with the rooms and the stays. Now, overall, this could slightly be expectation. Again, we have a lot of people who kind of sat out of travel, or we just we understood the last 2 years that travel was going to be weird, right? So when you have all that pent up, built up, expectation, I guess, you could say when you come back and, it doesn't live up to your expectation or what you remember it as, maybe it's a little nostalgia or revisionist history. I think that can, kind of hurt the overall score. So I'll be interested to see what hotels do. Again, on some hand, they keep handing out statuses and points and things like that. But if you don't feel like you can redeem your points or statuses for anything, value, what happens there, especially when we've seen all these reward charts only increase in price. And we've seen some devaluations across the board as well. Now, of course, they're not asking like credit card people per se, but, from our lens, I do see that as part of it, especially when you think of it from the value prop lens. So, if you've had a lot of hotel stays as of late, drop out your comments, your thoughts down below, especially on that chart. Where do you rank or how do you perceive the brands as far as their overall satisfaction? Anyways, talking about points, if you're in need of some points, possibly for a potential stay, well, American Express is back at it with some insanely high offers. Now, the first one here is going to be somewhat laughable, but I do know some folks out there could take advantage of it. Then, of course, we'll talk about gold and platinum, more reasonable offers here. So the business platinum card, which is actually probably my favorite platinum card just due to the type of credits they give, actually has a 250,000 point offer going on. Now, the catch is you're going to have to spend $30,000 within 6 months. But again, we do have a lot of people out there who are into drop shipping or, flipping electronics or things like that. So for people like that, this might not actually be that far out of the realm of possibility. Now, what's really interesting, more so than the offer itself, is that we figured out that, this is a targeted offer, but folks have been calling into American Express and actually asking for this offer, and then the rep will either take their application over the phone or send them a link to apply, meaning that we're actually seeing folks turn targeted offers or making themselves targeted for offers with no real issue. And overall, I do think that is interesting. Now, I don't know if that's going to scale to every single offer we ever see. I think this offer, they probably know is such an outlier that spend amount that, hey, if they can get anyone, they'll take them. So if that is you, feel free to call in. I will link it down below. I don't necessarily know that I would use that link. It does link directly to the application. That could be a little dangerous knowing how American Express is, especially considering that they're willing to just target you. So I would call in that way. Now, if that spend is a little too high for you, we're also seeing high offers again on the platinum and the gold via Resi. I think with gold we're at $75 again, and platinum would be at $125 with much more reasonable spend. I think you're talking about $6,000 in the course of in case of the platinum card. So I'll link that down below if you're interested. But overall, it's nice to see these offers coming back. So now I'm really just hoping Chase responds with that Sapphire Preferred 100K. Hopefully no annual fee and branch that I'm personally waiting on. So, of course, if you're interested in those offers, let me know which one you're going after. And, of course, if you're a big spender, then respect to you. Now, we're going to close with another American Express story. This time around, I've been hard on the channel on American Express for ignoring cash back, right? We know green, gold, and platinum. We just talked about them. Those get all the love. But they ignore cash back outside of the BCP card. Well, this time, they're back with a brand new, it's not a new card, but it's basically a refresh, a complete overhaul, one of their no annual fee cashback cards. So let's take a look at this and then give you some thoughts to wrap wrap up the week. So the Blue Cash Everyday, not only is it sporting a brand new design, which, it puts it more in line with a Blue Cash Preferred card and even the Cash Magnates. Overall, I do like the design update. It went from being like a clear look to this. I like this look. Now the card itself, you're still going to have no annual fee. Your multipliers here, you're still looking at 3x on US supermarkets, capped at $6K a year, then it drops to 1x. It adds 3x on US online retail purchases, $6K a year, then drops to 1x, 3x on gas stations, same cap there. Now they're also adding some benefits here. So Home Chef, you can basically get a $15 a month statement credit, and the Disney bundle, you can get a $7 a month credit after spending $13.99 or more. So I believe Disney has a bunch of other bundles you can choose from. So if you have a favorite, definitely let us know down below. Now, in addition to that, the Blue Cash Preferred also got a slight tweak. It is gaining the Disney bundle, the $7 a month credit as well. So same deal, pick your bundle. As long as it's $13.99 or more, you could get a $7 a month credit. I believe it comes out to like $84, $85 a year overall. And so there you have it. That is the new Blue Cash Everyday card. Now, overall, I do think this is a really nice upgrade. The problem here is timing for me. I looked at this card, I'm like, wow, that's really cool, because the card wasn't really that good to begin with. In my opinion, it was pretty weak, and now, it's pretty good. But if this card had come out maybe 2 months earlier, 2 months later, I would probably feel better about it, because early in the show we talked about the Wells Fargo autograph card. Wells Fargo autograph card, ton of 3X categories and no spend caps, right? And you got to remember, this is cash back for American Express, so you can't make the claim that, MR points are so valuable. This is cash back. And so, the spend caps, while they're not terrible, I find them a bit limiting for no reason when you got a company like Wells Fargo saying, hey, I have no spend caps. And a lot of other issues at this 3X level don't have spend caps, right? I know we have the City Premier, same, a lot of 3X categories. Yes, it is $95, but there's a hotel credit in there. U.S. Bank Triple Cash would be another one. A lot of 3X, no spend cap. So I like this card. I think it's now useful again, especially in their cashback lineup. The spend caps just kind of bother me a little bit. It's hard to complain given where it was coming from. If you are interested in this card, there's a $200 public offer for it, but at the time of taping, I've seen some folks be able to go through incognito mode and find $250 sign-up offer. So I do think this card is much better now, much improved. And I overall do like the tweaks to it. I think the spend caps are a bit much given what the competition is doing out there, and given on some level how aggressive we see American Express go in MR land versus over here, right? So that's just my thoughts on it, though. But overall, I do like it, and I do hope this signals a change from Amex that they're going to now focus on cashback as well, because that's been a really lacking part of their game. Anyways, guys, that is going to do it for the news this week. So if you liked it, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, of course, consider subscribing to the channel. So we're posting content just like this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And of course, right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. My question to you, as it always is, let me know what you think about these stories down below. Especially if you've checked out the autograph video. What do you think? Are you going to get it? And what do you think about how does it compare to, this refreshed Amex card, as well as what other refreshes do you think Amex should consider in their cashback lineup? Love to get your thoughts on that. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you on Monday.